Venezuela and the United States stand on the brink of a high-stakes geopolitical confrontation. On Monday, Venezuelan Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello announced that 15,000 troops, supported by drones, aircraft, river patrols, and rapid response units, would be deployed to the border states of Zulia and Táchira. The move was presented as a major anti-drug operation. Authorities claimed more than 50 tons of narcotics had already been seized this year, and they framed the border buildup as proof of Venezuela's commitment to combating traffickers. But the deployment arrives just as the United States dramatically escalates pressure on President Nicolas Maduro. 3 Aegis-class guided missile destroyers have been ordered toward the southern Caribbean, where they will operate in international waters off Venezuela's coast. The naval force, which includes advanced Tomahawk-capable warships and surveillance aircraft, is tasked with cracking down on narcotics smuggling routes. Reports also point to thousands of Marines and sailors potentially joining the operation aboard amphibious assault ships. For the first time, the U.S. Navy has been given authority to conduct interdictions usually handled by the Coast Guard. Washington accuses Maduro and senior officials, including Diosdado Cabello, of running a criminal enterprise known as the Cartel de los Soles. American prosecutors have charged them with narco-terrorism and cocaine trafficking, and the United States has doubled the bounty for Maduro's capture to $50 million. Officials in Washington describe the naval deployment as part of a broader campaign to protect American communities from drug inflows, but the scale and sophistication of the assets also serve as a deterrent against Caracas. Maduro has denounced the U.S. operation as an illegal attempt at regime change. He has mobilized millions of civilian militia members to back up the Venezuelan armed forces and has vowed to defend the nation's territory, airspace, and waters. In fiery speeches, he portrays the naval deployment as proof of a declining empire trying to impose its will on Latin America.
Let the world know, let the empires know, that today more than ever, Venezuela can defend itself. That's why we're in peace and will stay in peace.
This confrontation builds on decades of tension. Venezuela sits along a critical corridor for cocaine trafficking from Colombia to international markets, especially the United States. Washington argues that Venezuela has become a safe haven for traffickers, while Caracas insists it is the victim of misinformation and economic warfare. The deployment of troops to Zulia and Táchira also reflects the realities of border instability. Colombian insurgent groups and narco-gangs frequently clash in the Catatumbo region, with violence spilling across into Venezuelan towns and farmland. The United States is expanding its naval presence at a time when its domestic fight against synthetic opioids and cocaine is intensifying. Venezuela, meanwhile, is using this moment to stoke nationalism, rallying citizens behind Maduro, and framing the threat as an attack on sovereignty. Both sides are playing to domestic audiences while raising the risk of military escalation. The immediate question is whether the U.S. deployment remains limited to surveillance and interdiction or whether it evolves into direct military confrontation.